Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we're jumping into a really interesting source document. It's called Pyrite.docx, and it's pretty unique. It's super short, but it packs in some big claims. So our job here is to break it down, look at how it's put together, and figure out what it's really trying to say. Ready? Let's dive in.
Okay, so this is it. This one sentence you see here is basically the entire document. It says, and I'm reading this exactly as it's written, that pyrite, as being conductor, affects positively blood, bile, and movement of body fluids and influence on organs, tissues. Right off the bat, you can tell the wording is, let's say, a little unconventional. It's making a direct link between pyrite being a conductor and all these positive effects on the body. So let's pull this apart and see what's really being claimed.
So, the whole argument really hinges on this one word, conductor. The source is telling us that because pyrite is a conductor, everything else follows. It's like the first domino in a chain. This single property is presented as the reason for all the health effects it's about to list. So let's follow that train of thought and look at the specific claims.
First up, the source zooms in on a very fundamental level. It starts with two specific things inside the body: blood and bile. It claims there's a positive influence on these two substances. It's like it's starting small, laying the groundwork for some bigger claims about the body's systems.
Okay, so from those two specific fluids, the claim starts to broaden out. Now it's not just about the substances themselves, but about a whole process. The document says pyrite's influence goes on to affect the movement of body fluids. See that shift? We've gone from the what, blood and bile, to the how things are actually moving around inside us.
And here's the final piece of the biological claim. It zooms out to its widest possible point. The document finishes its list by saying there's a broad influence on organs, tissues. So if you step back and look at it, there's a clear path here, right? It goes from substances to processes, and then finally to the actual physical structures of the body.
All right, so you'd expect maybe some sources or a summary, right? Well, this is where things get really weird. The document just ends. And it ends with this, a call to action, complete with a little music note and thumbs up emojis, asking you to like, comment, and subscribe. This is something you'd see on YouTube, not in a document making health claims. Honestly, this structure is just as fascinating as the claim it started with.
So let's recap. We've got this one, very scientific-sounding statement, and it's immediately followed by a social media outro. It's such a strange mix, isn't it? And that contrast really makes you stop and think, not just about what is being said, but how it's being said. It leaves us with a really important question, one that applies to pretty much everything we read online. How much does the structure of a message, the way it's written, the way it's formatted, the way it ends, actually change the message itself?